Hello, I'm Brian Veach, and welcome to 3percentrealtors.com. I'm the broker and owner of Brian Veach Real Estate LLC, and today we're here to talk about my For Sale by Owner program. You're going to find it extremely interesting. One of the things people ask me is like, why would somebody want to sell their house themselves for sale by owner? And actually, I can think of three really good reasons. One is they might want to save some money. In today's economy, that makes a ton of sense. Two, they might not be able to think they can afford to hire a realtor, or maybe they had a bad experience with their last realtor and they just think they want to do it themselves. And that's perfectly fine with me. What I've done to help you, I'm a full-service realtor, and I've designed a plan. It's a do-it-yourself plan. I know that a lot of for sale by owners, they just want to do it themselves. They really don't want me looking over their shoulder all the time. And I want you to know I'm a phone call away. And I've outlined a 5-point program and put it in step-by-step instructions exactly how to get from A to B. First, you want to make a plan. Okay, when do you want to move? When do you want to start advertising your house? How are you going to let people know that your house is even for sale? What kind of things do you need to do to get your house ready to sell? Do you need to paint the walls, replace the carpet, fix the landscaping? Think about what you're going to do with the dog. How are you going to handle the buyers when they call? Well, what paperwork you're going to use? You got to have disclosures. You got to have a sales contract. You got to negotiate the offer when it comes in. You got to work with the home inspectors and negotiate those kinds of issues. You got to work with the bank and make sure they're pre-approved and make sure when the house is going to close. You got to work with the attorney on the closing, and those are things that are just outlined. And really, it's in a step-by-step process. One of the things you got to realize once you just sold your house, where are you going to go next? You got to have a new home. Well, all that kind of stuff, it all adds up. It sounds like a lot of work, and it gives a very stressful time trying to sell your home. Well, what I've done is basically I've outlined it for you. I'm going to give it to you, okay? I'm just a phone call away and can answer your questions. And sometimes it's good to have somebody that you can pick up the phone and call and ask, what would you do in this situation? What would you do in this situation? Will you come over and take a look at my house? Why am I getting the feedback that I'm getting? You know, sometimes some outside eyes looking at it is very helpful. Sometimes you're too close to the situation to see that there's clutter here or there that's just not showing well. That's the kind of stuff that I can help you with, and that's why you want to work with me. You know, one of the tools that I'm going to offer you, it's in my program, is I'm going to give you a free website that you can use. You might want to consider taking your address and making a .com out of it. You know, maybe you live at 102 Maple Street. Well, I might suggest let's use 102maple.com as your website. And let's upload some pictures. I'm going to let you do it. You're going to upload all your own pictures. You're going to write out a description of your house and put it on the website. It's very professional. It's like a flyer, but better. One of the things that allows the buyers to do is at the bottom of the website, it allows them to input questions, and then the questions are going to be emailed directly to you, not me, to you, so you can answer them and say, hey, this is what the situation is. This is, they can schedule showings with you. It's a very cool thing there. When you're working for sale by owner, you're going to have to make some very hard decisions. And one of those decisions, it's very important, is are you going to offer a commission to a buyer's agent if they come to you with a buyer? Okay, 89% of the buyers out there, you know what? They're working with realtors. So how are you as a for sale by owner going to handle that? Okay. Well, if you don't want to work with them at all, well, that's perfectly fine too. We got to make sure that's known. But I'm going to still help you. My program takes that into account. So I'll help you as if there's no commissions being paid to anybody. Okay, but you might ask, well, why, if there's no commissions being paid anywhere, why would you want to help me? Why are you giving me all this advice and being on call basically for me as a for sale by owner? Well, I'll tell you why. I would like to earn your business as your buyer's agent on your next house. I'd like to let somebody else pay my commission to help you sell your house. Does that sound fair enough to you? Well, that's the plan, okay? Also, if the answer is yes, you will pay a buyer's agent commission if they bring a buyer to you to sell your house, okay? Well, what I'm going to do is I'd like to make a recommendation to you. I'm a full-service agent, and I want to introduce you to my 3% listing service. Okay? In the 3% listing service, I want you to understand that in the real estate market today, technology is king. 89% of buyers out there are using a realtor. 90+%, maybe even 95% of the buyers out there, they're using the internet to search for homes. That's why when you list with me, I'm going to have your listing sent out to over 30 of the hottest websites on the internet so people can find you. I'm also going to take my very own advice and take your address and make a .com out of it so that I can use it to help find buyers in and around the community. The only difference is, of course, I'm going to take those emails and I'm going to take those calls and follow up with the buyers for you. Of course, all this work I'm going to do for you as your agent in the 3% listing plan, I am going to have to charge you a fee. And I want to explain to you, my listing fee is 6%, okay? And you might say, hey, Brian, I thought this was the 3% listing service. And I'm going to say, yes, it is. Let me show you how it works, okay? An example might be your house is worth $200,000, 6% would be $12,000. We can all do the math. But I want you to understand, when we put a sign in your yard, it's an invitation to all realtors. Hey, this house is for sale. They're going to pay a buyer's agent commission. Bring me your buyers. I want you to sell my house. So what I'm going to do is I always pay my buyer's agents when they show my listings 3%. Okay, and that 3% shakes down to, like in this case, $6,000 for the buyer's agent and $6,000 for me. But let me ask you a question. Again, we kind of talked about it earlier. What do you think about letting somebody else pay my listing fee? Does that sound like a good idea? Well, it's really quite simple. Again, we're offering a buyer's agent commission by putting the yard and the sign in the yard of 3%, right? Well, I'm going to ask you to let me be your buyer's agent on your next house. That way I can be a full-service agent, help you from the time you want to move to the time you're unpacking your boxes. And we've talked about how your house works. Let's talk about how the other house works. You're going to go out in the community, you're going to find another house to move into. Let's say the house is $220,000. And what we don't know, we know that the house is listed. We know they're going to pay a commission. We just don't know what it is. What I'm going to do is trade you my listing fee commission of $6,000 for that buyer's agent fee on your next house. What does that do? Well, basically it's going to save you a ton of money. Your out-of-pocket is only 3% on your house. Okay, you're allowing somebody else to pay all or part of my commission. You've saved a ton of money, and all I'm asking you to do is to make sure I receive a commission when you buy your next house, okay? And I'll ask for a minimum of 3%, which is the 3% of your old home. And one of the things I like most about being a realtor is when I get to watch a moving truck pull up to your next house and start unloading your boxes. I know that I've provided a high-quality service. I've saved you a ton of money, and it's why I like being a realtor in general. I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to my For Sale by Owner program. For more information, please go to 3percentrealtors.com or my free FSBO website.com, or just go ahead and go to brianveach.com. Thank you very much.